By phone, we do have Marlon Robertson. Good morning, Marlon.
Good morning, Becky.
And in the studio, we do have our own sheriff. We have Brent Miller with us.
Good morning, Becky.
Good morning. And, of course, we have Officer Brad Naugle with us. Good morning, Brad. I need to get you in that microphone. Make sure, Brad, you guys get in that, okay? So glad to have everybody with us. And we are going to be, our topic today is Shop with a Cop. And I will need to thank our sponsors this morning, Meadowview Healthcare Center, Walmart, Salem Crossing, Americans for Prosperity, Mama Rosa's Restaurant, Fox Pearly Wealth Management, Dr. Mindy Gunn, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, Marshall Monuments, McAllister Land Consulting, Springer & Springer Insurance, Snack Medical Center, and Temple & Temple. Wonderful sponsors every morning right here on Coffee Club. But let's jump in. And Marlon, we're talking with Shop with the Cop, and I feel like we're kind of doing, we're going to do a blast from the past and kind of tell us the history of Shop with the Cop.
Well, in 1987, we had a country music show at Salem High School, and the headliner was Barbara Fairchild, and we took in $1,200. It was sponsored by the FOP, and the next meeting we were talking about, we cleared $1,200 on the show. We talked about what we should do with the money, and there were several ideas, and I said, let's take some kids Christmas shopping. And they talked about it and decided that might be a pretty good idea, and they appointed Eugene and Helm and I a committee of two to check into this. So we did, and we got hold of Schlichtemeyer down at Murphy's.
Oh, this is fun. Okay.
That is now, of course, the JC store. And he said, I'll tell you what, to get this thing started, I will give you guys 50% off. And which we thought was wonderful. So we went to the welfare department. We came up with 23 names, and that's how Shop with the Cop was born. It was just a handful of policemen and their wives. There was no outside help at all, and we picked up those kids one early one morning, and we took them to the Murphys. And after that, Zoma Barrett at Hardee's says, bring them down there and I'll feed everybody for nothing, which was wonderful of her. And so we just drove down there, no red light, no siren. We just drove down there, and we all ate. Believe this or not, how small we were able to eat in the non-smoking section of the back of Hardee's, if you're familiar with that. That's how small we were. The next year, we were talking about Shop the Cop, and we started getting donations for the first time. And so we were able to it was the first ever nighttime Shop of the Cop. The only nighttime Shop of the Cop was 1988. And we had 67 kids that year because of all the donations from people around Salem. And we also had a country music show. We drove down to Hardee's. We filled Hardee's, completely filled Hardee's. Of course, it wasn't breakfast. It was anything you wanted to eat. Zoma sponsored that again. Year 3 was 108 kids we had gone up to. And, of course, we had the red light and siren when we took them on that parade to Hardee's. Now, after that, we got so big that we had to go to the Armory. And to the armory, we started going to the fairgrounds. Now, I'm not positive what they do today, where they go to. I don't know if it's still the fairgrounds or what. I guess maybe Brent or Brad can take it from there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what they do now. So.
Right. Well, you were the segue. You were like the appetizer, getting it set, because we were talking about the history, and we knew you would know the history. Yeah. And I couldn't remember. You had told me the other day a little bit, but I just wanted to. And I appreciate you, helping us out with that, because what a beautiful seed you planted there, Marlon.
Yeah. Well, 1987 was the first year, and of course, next year in 2026 will be the 40th Shop of the Cop.
Awesome. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Well, yeah. and you go back and what a wonderful vision, and it's just grown, yeah. And we're going to find out. Yeah, Brad and Brent are going to take it from there, but it's so important to find out the history and how it started, and and how many years it's been going strong.
Yeah. Well, at that time, the first year, Eugene said there was a similar program in New Albany, and they called it Shop of the Cop, and that's how it was named Shop of the Cop, because got that idea from New Albany. So
that's pretty
how
awesome.
It is. So I don't know how many kids they take today. I just don't know. So
yeah. And then when you go back, was it kind of the same format where you kind of like, we kind of do now, you kind of get like a coat or, like either, socks or something like that, or clothing?
Oh, absolutely.
And then like usually like a toy or so, one toy or so. Was that kind of the same format?
We've had kids that said they'd like to have a pillow because they didn't have a pillow for their beds. We've had some that said wanted to buy something for their mom and dad,
Yeah.
But we pretty much concentrated on the kid itself. So.
Right.
But you wouldn't believe it was kind of a sad situation. Some of these homes that you went in, it's not like you and I lived. So, but I'll tell you, it sure was appreciated.
Yeah.
The help was sure appreciated. So.
Definitely. Well, Marlon, that's awesome, and you and Eugene Helm, what a blessing for you both coming up with the idea and working hard on it. And I love that, putting your faith and putting it in motion. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
I love that. That's great.
Yeah.
So, well, we'll let you go, but thank you for the history, and thank you for starting this beautiful part of our community, actually, and what a great blessing it is for our community.
Yeah, well, Becky, I'm glad you called. You can call me anytime you want to and ask me questions about that.
All right.
I pretty much answered the start of it. I can't answer it nowadays, but I can answer the start of it. So.
All right.
I think I was involved maybe 18 years, I guess it was.
Oh, wow.
So, because I left there in 2003, so.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Pretty awesome. Well, Marlon, that's a wonderful, wonderful story, and I appreciate that. And we'll pass the baton to these two and see if they can tell us what today is. But Merry Christmas to you, Marlon, and we'll probably see you or talk to you before, okay?
You too, Becky. Be careful.
All right, thank you. You too.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye. Wow, what a great start, right?
A lot of history.
Yeah. So, okay, Brent, when would you have started where do you come into play on that?
Well, I just recently had my work anniversary in November, been there 36 years.
Oh, okay.
So I've helped off and on for the 36 years that I've been there. There's been a couple of times over the history there that I had to work on Shop of the Cop Day and may not have been able to help with it, but been involved with it the entire time I've been there at the Sheriff's Department.
Right. And you started actually at the Sheriff's Department, so you've been there 36 years at the Sheriff's, or did you start anywhere? Had you been anywhere else?
Started at the Sheriff's Department.
Yeah. And what was your, I guess, did you always want to be a part of it, or what was your, I guess, I want to hear that. I've not heard that one. Why did you, start at the Sheriff's Department, or why did you want to be a policeman, or what did you?
Well, I actually went to college and got a degree in conservation law enforcement. That's always been my thing that I wanted to do, and when I graduated from college, I applied like most guys do that want to get in law enforcement. You apply for several agencies, and the first agency to hire me was the Sheriff's Department, and I got hired as a corrections officer and started out in the jail and just worked my way up the ladder to where, year later, I got hired on as a deputy there at the sheriff's department, and then just climbed the ladder over the years. I'm still there.
Yay, that's awesome. Was that ever on your radar though to become sheriff? Did you, like, I'm talking about years ago, like, did you look at it and think that would be a goal I would like to achieve?
Well, when I first started there, no, it wasn't. I wanted to be a conservation officer.
Oh, I love that. Okay.
And 'cause I love to hunt and fish, and as a deputy, you still get to, you can still make arrests for fish and game violations and things like that. So I was able to do some of those things, and I was happy there at the sheriff's department. And as I started climbing up the ladder, got hired as an officer, and then got promoted and started moving up the ladder. Then I did have the desire to be the sheriff someday, and so here I am today.
Yeah, that's awesome though. Yeah, but I love that, moving up the ladder, and I like that. And I think starting at like what you're talking about, the different departments, and kind of getting a feel for everything and understanding it, that only made things better when you do become sheriff.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think Brad can say the same thing.
Yeah.
Most of our deputies at the department started out in the jail,
Uh-huh.
and I think it's very important that they do.
Mhm.
It allows them to see that side of things, and if you can handle yourself back in the jail, then you can handle yourself back out on the street. So
Right.
it's I think most of our, probably at one time, at least 8 out of our 10 deputies that would be there at the department all started out in the jail.
Right. Well, since Marlon kind of, and Brad, jump in here too, and we're going to find out about you too, Brad. But since, okay, so the 36 years that you've been, and this has been going for 40, it'll be next year 40. So let's say 39 years. Has it changed? What have you seen change, I guess, in this, Brent, with Shop with the Cop, or are we pretty well the same format?
It's a lot of the same things as it's been over the years.
Uh-huh.
It's went up and down in numbers and things. The thing that's been consistent is the support that you get from the community. We simply couldn't do this without the support of the community. There's a lot of people out there that make anonymous donations every year. They don't want any recognition at all for it. There's even been some years where we might have been short on money, and people will always step up and write a check and cover it. And
Love
so, it's been a great thing that Marlon and those guys started all those years ago, and glad that it's still going on today, because the need is still out there to help people, and glad that we still have people, like Brad and the other officers and stuff like that pitch in to do that, because we get officers that come from other counties and stuff to help us as well, and we couldn't do it without the help of a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, Brad, let's talk about your career real quick. Let's jump in. What we got, this is, Brent, I guess I would have known a lot of what you said, but it's been a little while since I've heard your story, and that's really a cool story for sure. And Brad, what about you then? How long have you been with the Sheriff's Department?
Well, I've been with the Sheriff's Department 18 years total. I worked for the Sheriff's Department back in the 90s. Then I came back in 2010, I believe, and started working in the jail. Worked my way up in 2012 to a road officer, and now I'm lieutenant detective, and Shop the Cop's been something pretty much for 18 years or longer. I've helped with it.
Right.
I remember back in the early 90s, Dan White, conservation officer, retired. He used to have a Smokey the Bear costume, so I wore it for a few years for him, and that was a lot of fun. Nobody knew who you were, but you're out there in that big old costume. It was a lot of fun.
We love Smokey the Bear. You know what I mean? I don't know. Smokey the Bear is he's like one of those, he's almost like Bigfoot. You don't see him very often. And when you see Smokey the Bear, that's a big deal. Yes.
And everybody knows who he is.
Oh, absolutely. And, and he's got some good messages there. He speaks a lot of wisdom, and I would not be mad if he ever makes an appearance. Maybe not this year, but some year. That would be really, really cool to bring him. Right now I know Chases on the Case is very popular with Paw Patrol. And some of the other ones too, but Smokey Bear is the OG, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, love that. So, Brad, what's some of the? I guess, do you have any? Words on some of the changes you've seen? I guess where it's just grown and gotten bigger. I guess that would be the biggest thing, right? I guess.
Yeah. Every year you have different numbers of people that need assistance. But the biggest thing is we used to have to take a bus to Scottsburg to shop at Walmart.
Oh yeah.
Bus the kids over there, come back and have breakfast and stuff. The big thing is now the school opens up, the elementary school. Matt Gorman opens it up, and McDonald's comes there, and we serve the kids breakfast. And we have New Hope Church. They come and serve for us. And we have Santa Claus show up, too. So, like I said, this community is just wonderful, and they really support Shop the Cop.
Right. Yeah, and that's something that, just like what Brent was talking about, people just writing checks, just doing it for the right reason, not wanting any glory, just doing it just because it is, and how valuable it is. And if you ever watch this, and if you ever are blessed enough or lucky enough to get to be a part of this, it's so much fun. It's so rewarding. It's like it sets the mood for the holiday season. Correct?
It's very rewarding.
Yeah.
We have people, probably Brent too. For several years, I've had the same people just calling me, ask do they just assist to shop. Just and donations are just outstanding from the community.
Right.
But is this something that Washington County takes very serious, their Shop the Cop? I do believe.
Yeah, I feel like too when you start talking about like a donation, like let's say, I know like years before I've heard people say, do you have enough money? Do you got all the money you need? Well, what I love about this is it's never ended. Like you can donate any time of the year. You know what I mean? Like right now, you've got, some of the names that you're going to be doing, but you always keep that open. And I love that because the more donations, the more, there'll be children that'll come in, names that we didn't have on the list, or it's always just seed money for the next time, and you never can go wrong any time of the year, whenever your bank account allows you. If you want to make a donation or, send a check, you can do that to Shop with a Cop, and I love that.
Well, because it's not uncommon, Becky, for us to continue to shop after Shop with a Cop.
Yeah, yeah.
If there's still kids left out there that's not been shopped for, we may pick up additional kids, or you may even have a family that has something unfortunately happen, like a house fire right before Christmas or something like that, and they'll reach out to us, and yes, if the donations are there, we're always there to help out. And speaking about donations, that's one thing that we really like to try to make sure that we clarify to everybody, that 100% of those donations that are made to Shop with a Cop is spent on Shop with a Cop. It's not spent to fund anything else or to run the program other than to spend it on those kids. And it's spent on Washington County kids right here in Washington County. And it's always been like that, and it'll continue to be like that. There's plenty of need right here in our own backyard. Like I said, and like Brad said, I've had several people calling in the last few weeks because they know it's that time of year again, Shop with a Cop, that wants to help out because they've helped in the past, and it's been so rewarding to them that they want to come back and do it again. And it's good to have lots of help, because it takes a lot of help to corral all those kids on that day, because they get pretty wound up. And
well, absolutely. Well, who doesn't, right?
I'm not sure who has more fun, them or the officers.
I know, a lot of energy. I love it, and I love those little ones that know exactly what they want, and they, you've got an officer, someone standing there, and they just tell them exactly what they want. They know, and I love that so much. And kind of, we are going to kind of go back over like the format. So there's usually like a form that's kind of filled out of maybe some items that they possibly would need. Is this right, Brad? Or
yes, on the forms, the parents put down what their children needs. We try to get most of those needs, and plus we try to get them a toy or two. We try to get them a jacket, pants, socks, underwear. Then we try to get them a toy or two. Southern Hills helps out a lot with that. They have the forms there. Then they set us up with the names. So Kennedy out there really helps us a lot.
Yeah, I think she does a great job, and I'll give her a big shout out too. I hope she's listening. Brad, so you are organizing it, kind of. You're kind of the organizer this year, right? Or how?
I'm the president of the FOP.
Okay, there you go.
And so it's usually up to the president, but there's a lot of leg work too. Everybody helps out.
Oh, sure. Sure.
Couldn't do it without everyone.
Right.
Even Neil, the check writer.
That's right. Yeah.
He stays busy that day.
Yeah.
Well, he gets a cramp, right? Yeah. There you go. I love that.
It just can't be just one person. It's the whole community. It's every law enforcement officer. Plus, we got conservation, state police, officers from other counties. It takes everybody to do it.
Right. Well, and I think that's true. But you need one person to kind of just set the date and what kind of do you, when you call the other agencies, or do they just like say when is it? You know what I mean? Are we like when you get the state police, you get the conservation officers, you get like queens, different pageant, and you get different
school athletes.
Yes. Yeah. So do you contact them, or do they contact you, or how is that done?
Usually, they usually contact the person what first contacted them. Seems like So which every year they contact them, but yes, they contact us, or we just gotta make a phone call, and not too often you get turned down.
No, I know. Right. I feel like there's always like which we love, the more the better to help. And it's always and it's always nice too, even if somebody like if the children's with someone, it's always nice to kind of walk around if you need to help a little bit on getting some sizes and stuff. And
with that being said, Becky, hats off to Walmart too.
I know. Let's do it.
Walmart does a lot.
They do.
To help prepare for this, order stuff ahead of time, and stock up on the things that we're going to need to shop for that day. And Walmart calls in extra people, and they open things up earlier for us, and they have back in the garden sections where we check out back there, and it's just, cashier after cashier back there getting us through there and taking care of things. And we couldn't do it without Walmart. They're a great partner as well, and we appreciate them.
And their employees takes care of anything we need.
Anything we ask, they're there.
Yeah. I think you bring up some good points, because we're very blessed, and we've seen through the years where we've had to kind of bob and weave to get this, to go out of town if we had to get the shopping, and now we have our own Walmart. And I know behind the scenes, I talk with them a lot, and they do special orders. They know what's coming up, and Shop with the Cop, and it's so awesome that they do that in preparation to make sure there's plenty of supplies for Shop with the Cop.
Yeah, we got to give a shout out to McDonald's too. I don't know if we've mentioned them yet or not, but Hardee's came in at the very beginning, like what Marlon said, and we appreciate Zoma Barrett and Hardee's.
Absolutely.
And everything they did in the beginning. Then at some point in time there, it switched over to McDonald's, and McDonald's has been taking care of us for a long time, feeding these kids, and we greatly appreciate the partnership with McDonald's as well, because they go out of their way to help us out, make sure there's plenty of food there for the kids that day, and there's always food left over that they let the kids take home with them when it's over with and stuff. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Hats off to McDonald's too. We appreciate their partnership as well.
I agree. Yeah, they are. Yeah, and right now I'm going to just segue. Don't forget they have the Grinch Happy Meals. Has anybody had one yet?
I have not.
Oh,
not either.
Oh, you guys, you got to get them. You get the socks. You know what I mean? You get the Grinch socks.
I've heard about the socks, but I have not got a pair yet.
Okay.
Have you got a pair yet?
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm.
You're probably wearing them, baby.
I was going to say several pairs. Yes. But see, I love a good Big Mac. You know what I mean? And you can get Big Mac or you can get nuggets. And of course, I like nuggets too, but they always ask me, is your meal good? I've never found anything that's not good at McDonald's, so they've got that going on. And of course, yes, we're very blessed to have a very much community-minded McDonald's to help out with this, and they love it. Marie Lowry, she's just a name that just, oh my goodness, she just couldn't wait for Shop with a Cop, and was right there with it. Would be right there, wouldn't she? Yeah.
Yep.
So
she supported it for many years.
Yeah, sure did. So, and I'm loving it. Again, the baton has been passed. Onward ho we go. Yeah, more. So that's a huge blessing. Let's talk about some of the kind of the criteria, the age, or do the schools help out too, like giving you some names, or is it mainly just, do they turn them into Southern Hills or the Sheriff's Department or the Police Department, or how does that work?
Mostly it's Southern Hills is where they put the announcement out. And,
it's kind of nice to have that one hub.
It is. But every once in a while you might hear from a teacher or something, hey, somebody needs some extra help this year, so we try to take care of them. But Southern Hills, like I said, they really select the names, and they kind of divide it up to different organizations. It also benefits the children for the year. But without Southern Hills, they make it so convenient for us to get names and stuff like that. But, if anybody needs some help, just contact the Sheriff Department and we'll see what we can do if the funding's there.
Well, and speaking of giving a shout out to Southern Hills, what a beautiful facility for our community. And how much is that, like you talk about use it or lose it? How wonderful this is, to have a facility, or a church it is, that is big enough to host and to have things that, and lets us, and uses, and it's kind of their thing. You just know that that's going to be where it's at.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that don't realize what goes into that. How huge that is for Southern Hills to take that on and to tackle that, and to be the central hub where everything goes through them for the majority of the programs and stuff here in the county. And we greatly appreciate what they do as well there at Southern Hills, because we couldn't do it without them, and it makes it a whole lot easier on us, and makes it easier for people to go pick things up there, and it's just a huge undertaking for Southern Hills to take that on too. You know,
Right.
we greatly appreciate them. They've been a great partner with us as well along the way, and we appreciate them. And, they spend a lot of hours up there sorting things and getting it ready for people to pick up, and I'm sure they're ready for a break when this is all over with too.
Yeah, I think they are kind of. I think that's probably and a well-deserved break for sure. But again, if somebody would like to help volunteer, I'm sure that they would take volunteers on that too.
I'm sure they would.
Yeah, if somebody wants to help organize, because that's quite a bit of an undergoing too there.
Because it's several different organizations they do for it too. I think Angel Tree is one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they have their own giveaway for Christmas. I do believe. So I mean, it's from October until now. I'm sure they stay pretty busy up there.
Yeah, I think they do.
Well, what's kind of nice, Becky, about that too is over the years, you know, when everybody was doing their own thing, you would have families that would apply to multiple different things to get assistance, to make sure that they got assistance. And sometimes some families would get multiple assistance and some families wouldn't get any assistance.
Right.
And so that's what's kind of nice, that Southern Hills is willing to do this for everybody, and then everybody kind of goes there and gets kids from there to try to make sure that we're getting more people assistance that need it, and not some people that just get more than others, and some don't get anything, and it works out great. Because the schools used to work really well with us too, but I know personally, and I'm confident that all the schools do it here in our community, but because my daughter's a teacher down at Eastern, I know that they...
Give her a shout out. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah,
Okay.
woo, go Tristan.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
But I know they got their own Angel Tree, and they try to take care of their own students down there at Eastern. And I'm confident, I don't know personally that stuff goes on at the other school systems, but I'm confident that it does, that they do take care of their students and stuff as well. So, you know, and again, you know, we've got a Secret Santa that comes into the Sheriff's Department every year up there that will donate money and never wants to be, anybody know what their name is, and they'll donate money, and they want us to take it to, pick one of the schools and take it to one of the schools, and let the schools pick out a family that needs it and give that money to a family to help them out. So it's a special time of year, and like I said, you know, we couldn't do these things without the donations from everybody, and everybody steps up, and it's a unique community that we live in. There's really a lot of giving people here, and we appreciate, you know, partnering with everybody, and it just, Shop of the Cop goes so smooth that day, because there's so many people that step up and volunteer and help make it a special day for those kids.
Right. Now, how do we, which I like kind of showing the behind the scenes, because that maybe for those that, you know, have never heard some of the stories, or, you know, we're not familiar with it, or we're familiar but just didn't know, you know, the behind the scenes, which I love to do that. And I like to highlight people, because I agree, Brent and Brad, we've got beautiful people in our community, and we've got a beautiful community that really gives, and children are very passionate. I feel like we are, when it comes to children, we're very good at that. Don't you think so? Yeah.
Oh yes, I mean, the community always steps up for us, and it's pretty amazing living here in Washington County.
Right. Now, how do we pick, like, because some go shopping, how is that kind of chosen, like, what child goes shopping, what child, or do you, because I know there's some that you just get the names and information and you just shop for them. Is that something that you, how does that formula happen?
Usually we try anybody under 3 years old, and usually we shop for. This year I think we have some 16-year-olds is the oldest we're doing. I know in the past I think it was up to 14, but this year I know we have some 16-year-olds we're going to go ahead and shop for, and they'll probably come with us. But
wonderful.
Basically they have to be able to kind of take care of themselves,
yeah.
You know, be able to walk and stuff like that,
Sure.
and make it safe for everybody. But usually about 3 and up.
Well, that's where they could kind of like talk too, where they can tell what colors they like, or, you know, or maybe if they have that special Barbie
Yes.
or, you know, that they would like to have, right? You know, so that only makes sense on that. Yeah. So how many children are we helping this year?
This year we're right at 60, and I'm sure we'll probably add on.
That's a nice amount. That's a huge amount.
It's a huge amount. It's several families. We're trying to get officers right now to cover the ones we have. Then I'm sure we'll probably add on some more, just shop for a few. There'll probably be a form at the Sheriff Department maybe next week, and we'll try to help a few more families out we just shop for.
And this happens next week. and just like it's the 13th, is that right?
The 13th,
yes. Oh my goodness, is that crazy to think?
A week from Saturday.
That's crazy how fast time flies, right? Yeah. What about then, and like Brent said though, that like if there were names afterwards, they could just contact the sheriff's department if they have somebody that may be in need, if there's been something changed, you know.
The sheriff's department or Salem City.
Or city,
you know,
yeah.
they work with us well too. But yeah, we'll probably have some forms out where they can fill them out for the clothes size. We'll probably just send people out to shop for them and deliver the packages to the residents.
And the different departments that okay, let's go over all the different departments that help out again. We got, I don't leave anybody out, right? Is that putting too many people on the spot? But the conservation officers, right?
Conservation, state police,
conservation.
Salem City Police Department, of course the deputies at the Washington County, the corrections officers, dispatchers, court reporters, and
clerk's office.
Yeah, prosecutor's
office. There's a lot of the county government offices come and help out.
Then we have officers in the past from, I know, New Albany,
Floyd County,
Scott County.
Oh, isn't that awesome?
Yep.
Different counties. Now, do any of their counties like do you ever network with them and kind of tell them, maybe for those that are thinking about starting the program, or do you guys kind of take notes and kind of help them out, like on how to do the program, or do you talk with other counties about that? So I know ours is one of the bigger counties to help.
Ours is one of the bigger ones, I do believe. Some years, and it just seems like with Scott County, you know, it seems like they got their program also too, and there's a couple of Scott County deputies that's in the FOPO here with us.
Okay, awesome.
But pretty much, I mean, there's a lot of departments that has their program, but it just seems like this one here is just amazing.
Yeah, I agree, and it's magical, like it's the magic, right?
Yes.
So then we have Shop with the Cop, which is exciting, and then we might go back and talk about that, but let's jump in. So then we'll lay our head down on the pillow, and then what are we going to do on Sunday morning, or Sunday?
We always follow up Shop with the Cop with Cram the Cruiser
Yay.
On the following day, and that's another event that we do for the community, and we couldn't do that event as well without the community support, and we greatly appreciate everybody coming out and helping with our Cram the Cruiser event. Everything that we collect that day, food items, goes directly to the Washington County Food Bank here in Washington County. Once again, to help out our friends and neighbors, try to make sure that nobody goes hungry during the holiday season, and we're going to do things just a slight different this year. After talking with Walmart and the JC stores that we partner with, we thought maybe our times needed to be adjusted a little bit.
Okay.
Because the fact that we do it on a Sunday, a lot of people go to church on Sunday like they should, and they go to lunch when they're done, and then they hit the stores, go shopping before they go home. And we used to do like 10 to 2, and it seems like things are really hopping when we're shutting down for the day. And so we're bumping it back a year or an hour this year, and we're going to go from 11 to 3 this year.
Okay.
And if things work out really well, we may go to noon to 4 next year is what we're talking about doing.
Okay.
So we'll have deputies that are going to be at the JC store and deputies that are going to be at the Walmart store there to collect your food items. Brad's going to be there to help us. There's other deputies and other people that we will have, and sometimes we have some special guests, you know, like you've mentioned. Typically the Pekin 4th of July Fair Queen will come and help, and the Washington County Fair Queen will come and help, and we appreciate those people helping out as well. This is going to be our 6th annual Cram the Cruiser. When we started this 6 years ago, we didn't know how well it would do, and it really went over really well, believe it or not. That first year we filled like 6 police cars full of food items, and the food bank told us that was one of the biggest one-day food drives that they've ever had. The people of Washington County donated over 5,000 food items that day.
Oh my goodness.
That was pretty amazing. It's kind of been up and down since then because of the economy, which you can expect that.
Right.
And you never know where the economy is going to be. And with the SNAP benefits and things going on this year, there's been a big need for the food bank. They've got a lot of families coming in there every month getting things, and so I know there's been a lot of donations coming into the food bank, thank goodness, because it takes a lot to feed everybody that comes in there, and we want to do our part, and so again, we're hoping for another good record year this year. They switched at one point in time and started, instead of counting your food items, now they weigh your food items and they go by pounds. And I think last year we ended up somewhere around 1,600 pounds for the event, which is still, that's a good amount of food, 1,600 pounds. If you are in a hurry that day and you don't have time to shop and drop some food off, we will also take monetary donations. We take those as well. Last year we collected almost $900 in cash on top of the 1,600 pounds of food last year.
Oh, wow.
And
that's awesome.
Yeah, and all together, we've, since we've started this, we've taken in over 20,000 food items that's been donated to the local bank, and a little over $7,200 in cash. And so the food bank appreciates that as well, because then what items don't get donated that they need, they can go out and buy the items that they need. So monetary donations are great too, and we appreciate those, and we'll have a lot of people that'll drive past us and realize what we're doing and don't have time to maybe shop, but they'll put money in an envelope for us, and we donate that to the food bank as well. And I tell you, they're very appreciative there at the food bank. They always thank us multiple times, and they have runners that'll run for us that day, because as we're filling up police cars, they've got somebody that's constantly coming in pickup trucks and picking it up, and they usually have to take it off site somewhere because of the volume that we take in that one day, and it all has to be sorted, and that's a lot of food items to sort.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
It typically will go to an off-site location where they sort it and then take it all back to the food bank there and organize it there and give it out to the families 3 days a week. They're open on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays there. And again, it's a great event for the community, and people really come out for that as well. And we like to tie that in with Shop of the Cop, because Shop of the Cop's been here, like Marvin said, a lot longer than Cram the Cruiser. It's been here going on 40 years now.
87, yeah, 40 years next year, yeah, that's crazy.
So everybody remembers Shop with the Cop, and everybody knows about when Shop with the Cop is. So if we do Cram the Cruiser right behind it, then that helps everybody remember the two events together. And like I said, I'm confident that we're going to have another awesome year this year with this Cram the Cruiser. And like I said, we get a lot of people that turn out for that, and we appreciate everybody that takes the time to stop at the JC store or stop at Walmart and buy a few food items. And in the past we've even had people that we get to talking about it afterwards, and we'll find out that there's people that'll come to Walmart and buy a cart full of groceries and donate it, and then they also turn around and go to the JC store and do the same thing there, and donate another cart full of food at the JC store. So we appreciate that, and we couldn't do this without the help of everybody. And kind of like what we said about Shop with a Cop, it's just great to live in the community like we live in, that people will open up their hearts and their wallets and give to their friends and neighbors to make sure that everybody has a better holiday season.
Right. Yeah, I love this so much, and I'm this has been like 2 months ago, 3 months ago. Someone, was talking, and they said, "Well, when will Cram the Cruiser?" And I said, which I love the consistency. Just keep it. I love just when it is. The day after Shop with the Cop. So, of course, the Sunday. And I think it's wonderful. And you came up with this, Brent. You're not giving yourself, right, Brad? I mean,
she did come up with that idea, and it's a very great one too.
Yeah.
Well, I can't take all the credit for it. I actually saw it somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't.
We stole that from another police agency
borrowed,
that done it somewhere else.
And people borrowed from us, and we borrowed from others, and that's how what a blessing that it was started, right?
Yeah. And Paul Cyphers, has passed away, but he used to run the food bank there.
Absolutely.
And Paul Cyphers was
fantastic.
Great to work with.
Oh, sure.
When Paul was there, and now Rhonda Tuttle has taken over, and we work with Rhonda, and I just give Rhonda a call and tell her, hey, this is the date of the event. We're going to need people, and they line them up, and it's great because we sit there and collect, and they take it and take it back to the food bank and sort it all, and so got a great working relationship there with the food bank. And I know Paul used to tell us, he said, Brent, it's fairly easy at Christmas time to get donations. A lot of people are willing to give. He said, the food bank at other times of the year really has a need as well. And so, we also do the drive-through drug drop 4 times a year up at the Sheriff's Department. And after Paul Cyphers told us that, we started doing a food drive with that. And so quarterly when we have the drive-through drug drop, we also have a food drive for the food bank, and those items are all going to the Washington County Food Bank, and we've got some people that will consistently come to our drive-through drug drop that also drops off a lot of donations for the food bank, and we appreciate that as well, because there's always a need to feed people, and so we want to do our part, and it's just a small way for us to give back to our community, you know, to do these programs, and we're just happy to be able to help out our friends and neighbors, and you know, do the best we can to help the food bank out. Like I said, I know they always appreciate that, and it's a good event.
Absolutely. Paul said that to me too, you know, Becky, that people eat all year round. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you know, you know, but what a blessing though, if this will carry on. You know, if you can get, you know, so many pounds of food or so much that it'll carry on at least for a while. You know what I mean? And help it. Of course, we know other organizations. I know Meadowview and Salem Crossing. They're doing a little bit of a competition there. They're very competitive about you know, on who's going to collect the most food, you know. And I think everybody, and also it's convenient, you know, it might be convenient to, if you have a loved one at Meadowview or Salem Crossing, to bring, you know, some canned food items in, and it's convenient, you know, like you know, being at Walmart, being at JC store, you know, someone just does their shopping right there and brings, you know, a case of food or something, or picks up a couple extra cans. That's nice for the shopper too, the person, the convenience, you know.
Absolutely, and you know, that's something else to give a shout out to, and that's to the volunteers that work at the food bank.
Oh, absolutely.
Nobody gets paid there.
Nope.
They've got a lot of volunteers that make that possible, to put that on, and we simply couldn't do that without volunteers, and they do a great job, and we appreciate them, and because I got a neighbor that, again, wouldn't want his name mentioned, but he volunteers there, and he goes to the JC store almost maybe every day, and picks up stuff at JC and Walmart and things that they donate to the food bank, and without those people, the food bank, I don't know how they could even exist without their volunteers down there, and so we appreciate them. And Roseanne Quattro, a lot of people know who she is. She's a local artist who volunteers there at the food bank. And she does a lot of, I'm going to say spokesperson stuff for the food bank.
Yeah.
Keeps people made aware of things going on there and stuff. And I was looking at one of our posts that she made the other day. And one of the things that they said they can use the most recently, her post said that they need small cooking oil, flour, sugar, turkeys, and hams. You know, usually it's non-perishable items that they like to have, the canned goods and stuff. We got to have that stuff too. But around the holidays, you know, people like to have a ham or a turkey, and they'll take any size. You know, they'll take the smaller ones too, because you got smaller families that come in there too that might want to have a turkey or a ham for the holidays. And so those are the items that she most recently posted. But I mean, they'll take anything from canned fruit, vegetables, mac and cheese. You know, potatoes, whether it's potatoes or instant potatoes, just anything that anybody wants to donate, you know. And if you're going through the store on Sunday and you want to pick up an extra canned good or something like that and drop it in our cruiser outside on your way out, we'd greatly appreciate that.
Yeah, and I think that brings up, you know, a good point. If you do it, you know, do it little by little, you don't have to, you know, we know groceries are expensive for everyone, but you know, if you just get a little bit or whatever you can do, and it's right there, very convenient right there. You don't have to go to the food bank. You can bring it right here, you know, right there you guys are. So that's wonderful. That's very convenient. Yeah. And just because, like, if you come up and that cruiser doesn't look as full, does it mean that there's not been 2 or 3 loads already taken, right?
Right.
Yeah. So
absolutely.
Don't let that, you know, fool you there. There's work is being done, right?
Absolutely. Because, you know, Maurice Godfrey, he's another volunteer that volunteers at the thing, and
give him
I
shout
gotta
outs.
give Maurice
Yes,
a shout
absolutely.
out. I know he's like some of these other guys that, you know, he's there about every day picking up stuff from the local stores, taking it and delivering it there and things. And I kind of wished I had a list of everybody there to give a shout out to everybody there, because there's a lot of people that volunteer a lot of time to make that happen as well. And again, like I said, nobody there gets paid. It's all operated by volunteers, and we appreciate those people as well and their partnership, you know, to help feed the citizens of Washington County.
Yeah, and I think you brought up a good point earlier when you're talking about, like, with Shop with a Cop and with the Cram the Cruiser and our Washington County Food Bank. It's right here. It's our community, and this is where it stays. and this is what you're helping out. You know, you hear people, I want to help out locally. You know, let's help out locally. Well, these are great. These are great. You know, ways to do that. Whatever your heart desires there.
Yeah, we've got a guy again that, you know, talking about our drive-through drug drops that we have. We've got a guy that comes in there very consistently and makes I'm going to call it a rather huge donation. Every time we have a drive-through drug drop, you can count on him to come there, and I'll never forget his story. Because he tells us that, you know, there was a time when he had to use the food bank, and so he's never forgot that, and so he's given back to the community that gave to him.
Love that.
And that's a touching thing. And like I said, this guy comes in and gives us a really good donation every time, and we appreciate that guy, you know, for coming in and making, because he'll come in there in a SUV and open the back, and it's always full of stuff.
I love
that we take to the food bank. So
I love that. Well, those are stories to be treasured, and I'm glad you shared that. And you know, he obviously, you know, we're not going to mention his name, but how awesome is that, you know? And it obviously, you know, it you know, sparked the fire to you know, that helped him, and then obviously he realizes the importance of helping others now, you know, and how valuable these are to our families. Now let's kind of for those maybe that are I guess are not familiar with the drug drop, let's explain that just a little bit, since we're talking about that. Why do we have drug drops, and explain what they are exactly?
The drug drop is something, again, we started, and I want to say that's been 6 or 7 years ago that we started the drive-through drug drop. It's giving people a resource to be able to get rid of expired medications, or you know, what happens a lot of times is unfortunately when people pass away, their family has to clean the medicine cabinet out, and there's a lot of controlled substances and things there that would not be good if they got out onto the street and things, and people don't know how to get rid of stuff, and we don't want people to flush it down the sink or flush it down the toilet, and we want to give them a resource somewhere that they can go and destroy that. So we've got a box at the city police department. You can go into Salem City Police Department and drop that off, or you can come out to the Sheriff's Department. We've got one there that you can drop off in our drop box. We want to try to make it more convenient for people, so we started a drive-through drug drop. We do that 4 times a year, and Sergeant Matt Hine with the Sheriff's Department spearheads that program and helps us run that program. And again, it's like I said, it's giving people a safe resource where that they can get rid of that stuff. And you'd be surprised. There's a lot of people that come in and say they appreciate, you know, the fact that we're giving them an avenue, because they just didn't know where to get rid of this medication at.
Right.
And we would rather dispose of it properly rather than it get flushed or possibly end up out on the street.
Yeah.
And I wasn't prepared to talk about that today, so I can't tell you the numbers offhand.
Right.
But,
No. I didn't mean to.
But it's been pretty amazing how often we empty our box up there at the Sheriff's Department. It's about
Awesome.
once a week that we have to empty that box, that it's full of medications and things, and we appreciate people,
That's great.
bringing it to us. And so, you know, it's an anonymous thing. You come up there, especially when we do the drive-through drug drop, you pull up, an officer standing there waiting, they'll take it from you, and you just drive away, no questions asked. And then, again, we partner with the city of Salem on that, and the mayor allows us to incinerate that stuff at the animal shelter, and so it goes straight from the drug drop. We weigh it so we can keep track of how many pounds is destroyed, and then it goes and gets destroyed that day, gets incinerated, and it just gives people, you know, an avenue how they can get rid of their unwanted or expired medications and things like that.
Right. Well, I think it's just good to know that, and you know, when you have maybe, you know, for whatever reason, medication, you know, if someone has passed, or you just whatever, get it out of, you know, it's best not to have it at your house. Get it out of there, and you don't want it around, you know.
Yeah, because especially if it's controlled substances, we don't want that to end up on the street. And if somebody knows that you've got controlled substances in your house, sometimes that attracts unwanted people.
Right.
You know, that'll come to your place, and it's unfortunate that kind of stuff happens, but it does. And so it gives people peace of mind knowing that they can get rid of it, get it out of their house.
Absolutely.
Somebody's not going to maybe try to come break into their house, and you know, because those controlled substances, they have good street value, and there are people that do those kind of things, and that's what gives Brad Naugle and I job security.
There you go. I hate that, but yeah, I guess so. But it is nice to know. So those happen 4 times a year. But if you do have something, and let's say it's time to throw it out, or you're doing your cleaning, then you can still just drop it off.
Absolutely, yeah. 'Cause like I said, we try to do those quarterly, 4 times a year, and sometimes people don't want to wait, and I totally understand that. And so again, there's a big white, it looks like a U.S. Mailbox in our lobby up there at the Justice Center, and if it's after hours, I got to just push the little silver button there on the wall and tell them you've got something for the drug drop box. They'll pop the door, you walk in, drop it in the box, and walk back out.
Love it.
And the Salem City Police Department's the same way. They've got a drug drop there too. You can
Love
stop in there and drop it off at the city, and they'll help take care of you as well.
Right, and I love that. That's great. And I think especially when sometimes when us ladies get cleaning, gots to go now.
Yeah, well, there's things that come in there that sometimes aren't necessarily what the box is intended for, and you can tell that when somebody passes away, sometimes people just go to the medicine cabinet and they just rake everything out.
Absolutely.
And that's okay, because
Yeah.
we don't like for needles to be put in there obviously because of the safety hazard of the officers that are taking them out, and we don't like for liquids to be put in there, obviously, because they can leak out of the containers, and then again it creates a hazard for the people that are handling that stuff. But sometimes that stuff does get put in there, and we just deal with it. We would rather people not do that for the safety of our helpers that are trying to get rid of that stuff. But the health department, hats off to them. They do take used needles and things down there and destroy that stuff. I know it's hard for people to find places to get rid of that stuff, but the health department will take care of you on that aspect. And again, like I said, if that stuff does get dropped off, we will take those things, but we prefer people not put those in our drug drop box, because then again it creates a safety hazard.
Well, that's good information. This is good. I mean, if for some reason that someone didn't realize that we had such a resource, and that resource has actually grown, and I love it. I think first the concept of people just understanding what about, and then they realize how important it is to get rid of that or not have that in your home when it's done and not needed. I think it's gone. I think it's grown quite a bit too, and gotten very popular.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, it used to be the drug drop box, you dump it every 3 or 4 weeks or something like that, and now I'm not joking.
That's awesome.
Roger Newland, he former sheriff, he works security for us there at the Justice Center, and
give him a big shout out.
Yeah. And Roger, he'll usually call us and say, hey Brent, the box is full, and you guys need to dump it, and so it's almost once a week we're dumping that thing, and so the program has really taken off, and we're glad to offer that service to people, give them a place to go. And that's interesting too. Sometimes some people bring it in the pill bottles with their name and stuff on it. You don't have to do that. Some people don't want their names coming in there, and they'll just pour it out in a bag. We don't care. We'll take it in the bottle. We'll take it in a bag. But it's the interesting thing is at times looking at some of those containers, and some of those containers have Dr. Apple's name on it.
Oh,
tells you how long that stuff's been in somebody's cabinet.
That's funny. That's funny.
That stuff's been sitting around for a long time.
Yeah,
If you remember those little white boxes that you'd get your medication
penicillin,
in from Dr.
remember?
Apple's
Yes,
office.
that's hilarious.
That goes back a day or two.
I think it's expired.
Just a little bit.
I think it'd be definitely expired. Well, that's really, I mean, it's just one more service, and I love that. And I think it's one more service that our police do, and I think you guys, I think it's always nice to highlight the different things that is going on. And of course, we know right now, I'm going to segue, since I got you both in here, we will go back, we'll recap about Shop with a Cop, but also like safe, you and I spoke, Brent, the other morning, and about safety on the roads and stuff, and we know we had our big first snow, if you will, and had some slide offs, and I know I was one of those that was did the slide, and it was not electric, okay? It was not anything good, okay?
Yeah.
But anyway, and I've been hearing for some reason, I don't know why, and of course, you know how like your social media kind of gets in one of those, I guess everybody starts trending this, but like when you're going through a stoplight, let's say that, it turns green. And they say to, with everybody hustling and bustling and people that run red lights and stuff, to kind of pause a little bit before you actually go. Is that something, it seems like this has really been hitting my my social media a lot. Is that, elaborate a little bit on that?
Well, I know I would pause personally when it turns green, just look kind of both ways. You never know when someone's going to not be paying attention or talking on the phone. So I would check both ways before I cross the intersection. I just
think that was a good point. I don't,
Yes.
It is, Becky, because this is a busy time of year for a lot of people. It's hustle and bustle, and you got so many things going on. People are in a hurry, and we try to emphasize that, especially when the road conditions are not great. To slow down, allow a little extra travel time to get from point A to point B. But today everybody is just in such a hurry to get somewhere, and we've got a highway safety grant that we operate off of here. The city police are participating in that. The county deputies are participating in that. To help keep the roads safe and things. And even with your traffic enforcement out there, unfortunately, you're still going to have accidents and things. Sure. And it seems like, yes, from the snow, we have had, knock on wood, we've had quite a few accidents reported, but they've all been property damage accidents. Nothing serious, thank goodness.
Yeah, what a blessing. Yeah.
And the temperatures are staying colder than we'd like for it to be, so this snow is sticking around a little while. And of course, I always like to have a white Christmas, and then after that, I'm ready for springtime to come around.
I think we all say amen to that. I got you on that. Yeah. Well, I just thought it's interesting because like so many times, I guess this is what's been brought to my attention was so many times like you're at a stoplight and like I'm one of those that think, oh gosh, it's green, gotta go, and if you wait a second, sometimes not so much in our community, but if you go to some of the bigger cities, like you'll get honked at if you don't go. You know what I mean? If you don't. When it goes green, you have seconds or you're going to get honked at, right? Well, they say let them honk. You know what I mean?
Yeah, road rage is a real thing.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how many phone calls we get about that.
So just let them honk. Take the time when you're going, and just because it turned green, still look left and right and make sure safety. That one's been just really, I don't know if that's something that's a new campaign or just something really been pressing, but I'm really, it really tickled me. Just let them honk, so.
Can you talk about that safety grant just a little bit there, Brad, what they're primarily, the deputies are looking for?
Speeders, distracted driving, seat belts, of course, someone driving impaired, reckless drivers.
Just trying to make our roads safer, for everybody, and especially, the roads are heavily traveled this time of year. Thanksgiving, Christmas,
absolutely.
A couple of bigger holidays of the year that are the biggest travel days of the year, and people get out. And we want our citizens to get to their Christmas functions and get back home safely. And so, again, I know the public sometimes gets a little frustrated when they get stopped for speeding or seatbelt compliance and things, but those are all things that we have to watch for to try to keep people safe, and that's what those grants are for. Is for they pay off-duty officers to come out on their off-duty time.
I love that.
To patrol the roads, to put extra patrols out there to, again, try to help reduce the number of accidents that we're having, or reduce the number of injuries from those accidents by seatbelt compliance. So.
Well, I think that's I think it's awesome, and I'm glad that there's a grant like this, and I'm glad you brought this up because I did not know that, and I think it's wonderful, and that many more eyes on the road to help out, and it's always that, and it could actually, being pulled over because of speed could actually save your life, and it could be a good thing. I know sometimes when it's not always a great thing when you feel it when you're that person, but it's also bringing just maybe a reality to slow down and obey the speed limit signs.
Just got to make sure everybody's safe.
Yeah.
For your family, everybody's family. You just got to try to reduce any kind of injuries.
Right.
But it's a very good program, I do believe.
Right. And I think we all have a lot on our mind. And I think, right now between, we ended Thanksgiving into Christmas, that time is a short time. And everybody's like go time, and sometimes if you realize that it's easier to allow extra time to get to your destination, be there a little earlier, and don't put that rush at the end. Sorry. she has got to make her appearance. I'm sorry. The cat has anyway, I'm sorry. She's got me off my groove here, guys. So just kind of recap. Shop with a Cop. So also something else we need to remind our community: on the 13th, not this Saturday, but the next Saturday, you will hear several sirens. Okay, you will see several sirens. You will see several uh, emergency cars and vehicles doing great things, and so do not be alarmed, right?
I was actually going to bring that up, and you beat me to it,
Ah,
Becky.
awesome,
When
okay.
you were going to recap that,
Well,
I was going to ask Brad to talk about the parade that we do.
Yes, let's do. Let's hear about the parade,
the
Brad.
kids absolutely love that parade.
Sure.
And they love playing with the lights and sirens.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, as we get done shopping for them, at some point you try to corral them and get them back into the cars, and you'll start lining up in the parking lot out there, and they get started with the lights and sirens, and here we go. And I'm sure probably a few of the shoppers going in and out of Walmart probably do get annoyed with all those police sirens going off and things, but those kids are having a blast. And you know, we take a parade from Walmart over to the school, and we go around the bypass and come into town, and there'll be people standing out along what we call the parade route, that are waving at the kids, and
kids really enjoy it. Like I said, they love playing with lights and sirens. It's probably 30 or 40 minutes worth at Walmart. Then when we take off, we have the lights and sirens, and usually one of the kids is running the siren too while we're driving. So they really enjoy the parade. And I think most part, we wake some people up, and we hate that, but it's one time a year, and it's a great thing.
I think it's time for everybody to be up and rejoicing, because I love every bit of it. And yes, it's always funny, the officer maybe that gets done with shopping a little earlier or whatever, and goes and sits in the car with the child, and you'll just hear that siren going, or you'll hear those all of the bells and whistles going, and you're like, oh.
Non-stop.
But you know what? How fun is that? You know what I mean? And don't tell me that if you were at that age and you had the option and you had the of getting in there and turning on that siren, you wouldn't be doing the same, right?
Oh, exactly.
Yeah. I know I would.
But it seems like they really enjoy that, though. I mean, it's a good day, and that's going to be, like I said, December 13th. We should be at Walmart by 8 a.m. The parade usually between 9 and 10 o'clock, I would say.
You'll know when you hear it.
Yes.
You'll know we're coming.
I love it. I love every bit of it. Well, can't wait and looking forward to it. And I want to say thank you guys to you guys here in the studio, and also thank Marlon for him and Eugene for starting these great seeds and planting the great foundation for this. And it's just grown and gotten bigger and bigger, and we love it. And I know it's been through, we went through the COVID years, and it's still, you guys have not stopped. You have been unstoppable. So it's pretty cool that next year is going to be the 40 years of doing this, and how awesome is that? So maybe you have to do a special celebration on that, right?
Yeah, COVID was a little bit of a challenge, but
we
worked through it.
It happened.
We worked through it. We delivered gifts, and
yes, the show went on.
Everything done.
Yes, it did. So hats off to all of that, and onward ho, we sail and go and do, and you guys and your whole team, everybody, it takes everybody working hard, and just want to keep giving you encouragement on that. Again, then right after that on Saturday will be Cram the Cruiser, and you guys, again, hats off to you guys on that. You got a busy weekend, right?
Very busy weekend, but very enjoyable weekend. Hopefully the weather works for us.
Yeah.
We can warm up a little bit.
That would be nice if it would warm up a little bit for that weekend, but nonetheless, it's kind of like the U.S. mail. It must go on.
The show will go on.
The show will go on.
Everybody might be a little faster to get to their car, but
a little bit.
but it will go on. I love that. All right, well, thank you for all you do, and safety, keeping us, and we love the relationship that we have with you guys, and keeping our listeners. Brent, the other day with the snow, we talked to the city, county, and state. You guys were all rock stars, giving us the road report. We appreciate all that, and should anything else like that happen, thank you for keeping us in the know on all that. So, Brad Naugle, keep up the great work.
Well, thank you.
Yes, and being the president, you've got a huge responsibility, and thank you for getting everything organized. Yeah.
Well, I hope it goes well.
It will. It will be. And our Sheriff, Brent Miller, thank you for taking time this morning, too. I'd like to thank our other sponsors this morning: Meadowview Healthcare Center, Walmart, Salem Crossing, Americans for Prosperity, Mama Rosa's Restaurant, Fox Pearly Wealth Management, Dr. Mindy Gunn, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, Marshall Monuments, McAllister Land Consulting, Springer & Springer Insurance, Snack Medical Hospital, and Temple & Temple. So, everyone, let's have a wonderful Thursday, right?
Yeah. Thanks for having us, Becky.
Thank you.
I'm W. WSLM's Lauren Mitchell, and it's nice to hear about traditions in the Kentuckiana area. I wanted to tell you about one local business that continues to be thankful for its local customers and community. The tradition was started by Bill and Yvonne Green, and is now carried on by Roger and Joanne Alexander and their family at Mama Rosa's in Salem. Mama Rosa's will be delivering free meals to those in the community who are in need. If you want to volunteer or donate to help this cause, or if you know someone in the community who would enjoy a hot meal, please call 812-883-6296. The restaurant will feature a Thanksgiving-style buffet on Thursday, November 27th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. You'll find lots of food and fellowship with all your favorites: turkey, dressing, mashed potatoes, and all the fixins, plus salad and desserts. The cost is $16 for adults and $8 for children.
All over Hoosier country. 50-yard line. He may go. Down to the 25. Down to the 15. 5. Touchdown, Indiana. The Big Ten Championship game. Indiana's. Welcome to the Rick Burgess Show. The voice of reason for an unreasonable world. Lighten up, Francis. Here we go.
All right, America. Brand new hour starting now. Thanks for being with us. Speedy, Greg, Adler, all here and ready to go. We'll chat with you, America. The number's 888, the number 6BIG-BOX. You can text the same number. You can also be with us on the Rick Burgess Show Radio Network. Stations all over the country carrying the show live. You can also, if you don't have an affiliate, catch it live on our TuneIn app. Some of our affiliates have their own apps. You can watch us on YouTube. And then the archive options. The YouTube channel has a daily archive, a best of hour for Blaze TV subscribers. And then our audio podcast, which you see in the numbers a lot of you are getting. And thank you for the many, many minutes you spend with us and hours. You can get a daily archive on our podcast channel, including a best of hour there. So the gang's all here, as I mentioned, as we start this hour. Thank you for being with us. Coming up next week, it is the Christmas Cash Countdown. It starts on Monday, and every single day there's going to be ways to win money. And we'll do that for the final 10 shows of the year. Money every single day. So you need to be with us, and you need to find a way to be part of the program. And it's going to, you're certainly going to have to earn it. We're not just going to do a caller and then declare that caller the winner. We'll call for a caller, but then that caller's got to go through, got to earn it. Yeah. Now, the only one you don't have to earn is Text Nation. We're going to give money away on Text Nation every day, too. Nope. But you need to know the effort you got to get. We're going to have you text a word every single day for 10 days, different word every day, different time that it's going to be announced every day. And when it's announced, you start texting that number. Boom, we draw a winner out every single day. You win money.
You know, these podcast listeners that we've talked to, and they're like months behind.
I know, God love them.
I wonder, like, in February, if they'll realize
them.
what we were doing and be like, dang
man,
I missed out.
I know.
That's true.
I know.
Or will they go back to live? Because they said on big events, they'll go back to live and then go back.
Yeah.
I wonder what you do on that. But spread the word. You got to be listening to the live show for it to work.
Yeah, for this, you got to. I'm looking here. Brad sent it to me. He's a top 5%.
Mm-hmm.
And on our podcast every day, he has tallied over the year 27,720 minutes listened.
Wow, thank you.
He's top 5%. And Adler said he got one that was over 60,000, right?
Wow.
Yeah, so that's probably top 1%.
Boom.
Yeah, this guy, here it is right here. Open image. Your top podcast, The Rick Burgess Show. Not 60, excuse me, just 43,000.
Oh,
okay.
Still a big number.
Oh, exaggerated.
Well, it's a big number.
Yeah.
It's a big number, and now I question everything he tells. But to your point, Speedy,
it's okay.
I mean, I've given that kind of effort.
Man, thank you so much.
I've given that kind of effort And I'm going to end up.
Thank you.
And hey, look,
he's heard a lot of misspeaks.
And it's possible with that kind of effort, I have no chance to win anything.
Right.
There's just really no way to do it.
That's true.
But anyway, so it's going to be. We sat around, we talked about it, and we were like, okay, the beautiful thing about starting a new show is you don't get away from all the things you did for 31 years. My goodness, we're still the same people. But you think, well, but now I really don't have to adhere to any tradition. I have a clean slate that I can start doing, things that I want to try new stuff, try this, try that. Always respecting and grateful for the past, but excited about the present and the future. And so we're going to go a different way. And that is that at the end of it all, what most people need over this time of year with all the pressures that are put on us, that we shouldn't let bother us, but we do, is cash. Money helps.
It does help.
And so we'll do that. And
we were talking about this
money
yesterday.
Talks, you know what I'm saying? Money
and
talks.
You know what else?
Stuff walks.
We were talking about this yesterday, and a tuber just reached out. Hey, y'all leaving us out? No, y'all can text too, right?
Well,
I mean, because Text Nation,
anybody can text.
Anybody can text.
Well, also the other, there's going to be money given away every day 2 different ways, and then on the final, we'll probably go 3 different ways.
Yeah.
But if you are a tuber and you're catching the show live, now if you're an archive tuber, you're in the same place with the podcasters.
Right.
But if you're a live tuber, you can text every day to win. You can call in and be the right caller and have a chance to win. So no, tubers aren't being left out.
Not at all.
Yeah, there's no way to give something just to the tubers in the chat room. We looked at the technology there. There's just no way to make that work.
Yeah.
So but you guys are participating in the show. You can text and call and still be part of the show. So no tubers aren't being left out.
No tubers.
Yeah. So
Tube City.
Anybody catching the show, however they get it, can text, and anybody catching the show live can call.
There you go.
So no, you'll be right in the middle.
That's good. And it's everybody. I want everybody included.
And if you're someone who can't text, there's nothing we can do about that. Then call.
Yeah.
When that opportunity comes up. Believe it or not, we cannot come into your life and accommodate every obstacle that you have to overcome. We have to just throw it out there, and then you have to try to find a way to overcome it, and we make it as easy as we possibly can.
And we'll have
but there are limits to cater to every single individual situation. No, but that matter of fact, I would think that would be tough. So I think on a given week, we probably are. This show has access to an audience on a weekly basis of somewhere, between 1.2 and 1.5 million people, probably somewhere in there. So it would be difficult to go to every one of those people and say, now, how can we tell me the things that you have to overcome, and we'll try to accommodate that. That's just a hard thing to do. So
we'd love to.
It seems to me if you have a text option and a calling option every day, that accommodates most everybody.
Yeah.
And if you're someone who only listens on archives, we're grateful for that. Yeah. But there's not much we can do about that.
Yeah. Plus, this is just, hey, we're having fun. It's a way to say thank you. But I think we've already given away over $22,000, Rick. I know.
Right.
This year.
Right.
And so this will be in addition to that.
Yeah.
But it's just a fun way to say thank you.
Now there is going to be an uncomfortable moment.
You didn't have to.
I will tell the archive people there is an uncomfortable moment coming for you. You're going to hear the text number, the text word. And you're going to start texting like a banshee.
Yeah.
And the giveaway is going to already have happened.
Yeah.
And the winner will be announced the next day.
You can't even.
So hey. That's true. So
have you checked on Gary since your pedicure segment?
I have not.
You haven't? I'd like to know.
He obviously didn't hear it.
I'd like to know what he thought about that.
The only thing that
he didn't hear it.
The only thing that I'm hearing from Gary every single day, hey, y'all need to get down here and hunt, man. Y'all don't never come down here much. We do all this work down here, and you need to. 2 things Gary is always telling me: I'm too nice, and I don't go to the farm enough.
That's it.
He didn't ever tell you to slow down?
No. All he ever says is this. Now I guess this is his version of it. Hey, it's a shame to have this, and you just you don't ever get to use it. So I guess is that his version of that?
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah. But he's. Gary right now, I think, realizes if he goes after anybody for anything, the e-bike's coming. So he can't. He's kind of got that. That's kind of handicapped him a little bit. Yeah. If he goes after you doing anything, you go, well, at least I'm not riding an e-bike, to turkey hunt. You know, so that's
I'm getting one for Christmas.
because really, if you can say, well, I mean, an e-bike, you know, has all these advantages. Well, you know, keeping your feet healthy got advantages of that too.
I didn't know Gary was handicapped.
Huh? No, I didn't say that.
That's what you said.
Well, I
little
said,
bit.
yeah, on his ability to come after anybody right now.
Oh, gotcha.
Because he's got the, he's got that e-bike thing. He's got to really work through it. We'll be right back.
This is the Rick Burgess Show.
Weight cycling is when you lose 10 or so pounds, but then you put the pounds back, plus a couple more. That puts tremendous strain on your organs and can lead to serious health issues. Non-prescription lean was created by doctors. Lean is an oral supplement, not a GLP injectable, and the science is impressive. If you want to lose meaningful weight at a healthy pace and keep it off, add lean to your diet and exercise lifestyle. Get 20% off when you enter Big Box at TakeLean.com. MyPillow is excited to announce they're having their biggest 3-in-1 sale ever. My slippers, only $39.98, any color and any style. Perfect for cooler weather. My towels are finally back in stock. Got a 6-piece My Towel set for just $39.98. The limited edition premium My Pillows are just $17.98 for queens and $19.98 for kings. And when you order over $100, you get free shipping plus $100 in digital gifts. Head to mypillow.com/bigvox.
The holiday season has a way of taking you back in time. For me, the smell of wood burning in the fireplace, my mom filling the house with classic Christmas music from country legends, and the sight of my dad wrapping presents on Christmas Eve bring back the best holiday memories. It's those little memories filled with joy and love that make Christmas the most magical time of the year. I'm John Hazen, CEO at Boot Barn, and we're wishing you a Merry Christmas filled with joyful memories. Boot Barn, share the West.
Here's the tale of the daily Medfield. Same old pharmacy, same old bill, but those prices kept rising higher still.
Till the savings wrangler rode in, cool as can be. Tap Good RX, saving massively.
No plan? Don't matter none. Up to 80% off. The deals are done.
Discounts hitting harder than Ma's chili. Dang, that one little app does all the rest.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Check Good RX. Good RX is not insurance.
Visit Boot Barn today to save on top quality Christmas gifts. We're offering holiday specials right now where you can get $50 off all men's exotic boots, $40 off select women's boots, and 25% off flannels, sweatshirts, and select outerwear for men and women. We're also offering savings on select jeans, workwear, and kids' clothing. Visit us this week and save on top quality Christmas gifts. Boot Barn. Unwrap the West.
If you've been waiting to try learning a new language with Babbel, now is the time. For just a few more days, you can unlock all of the languages on Babbel with a lifetime subscription at our largest discount of the year. Babbel's bite-sized lessons fit easily into your daily routine and are easy to remember. Plus, Babbel teaches you relevant words and phrases so you can start speaking with confidence in as little as 3 weeks. And with a lifetime access to all of Babbel's languages, lessons, podcasts, and cultural insights, just imagine what you can do, or rather, where you could go. So if you've been putting off booking that culinary cruise through Spain for fear of mispronouncing paella, get Babbel now, before our biggest sale of the season ends. Where will Babbel take you? Find out at Babbel.com. Y una cosa más. This is your last chance, because our biggest sale of the year ends on December 7th. For just a few more days, you can get Babbel's lifetime access for less at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for health care, and here's why. This time of year is decision time for a lot of people, but it's also when you can join MediShare and save even more than usual. For many families, joining MediShare means saving about $500 a month, which is a game changer for a lot of people. More than 1 million people are part of healthcare sharing now because it just makes so much sense right now. And MediShare is the gold standard. Members like it a lot. We know this from member surveys. MediShare has been around for over 30 years. It is a proven thing. And if you join before December 15th and you mention the promo code SHARE, they'll waive your application fee. So you save $100 right off the bat. I'll give you the number here in a second, but just call. You'll get a price within 2 minutes. And again, the deadline's December 15th. Call now. You'll save even more. Here's the number. It's 855-51 Bible. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
If you're looking for a holiday gift, I've been using Raycon's Everyday Earbud Classics, and honestly, they're so good. Right now, they're up to 20% off at buyraycon.com/bigvox. Grab them while you can. The Everyday Earbud Classics are loaded with upgrades. We're talking active noise cancellation, multi-point connectivity, ergonomic fit that actually stays put. Over 3 million customers love Raycons. Get the perfect audio gift site-wide for up to 20% off at buyraycon.com/bigvox. Order by December 15th. For Christmas.
Merry Christmas, baby. Sure the trees are nice.
They are the uncles your parents warned you about. The
Merry
Rick Burgess Show.
Sure the trees are nice.
Let's go, America. Merry Christmas.
If only a diamond ring for Christmas.
Somebody say it.
Feel like I'm in paradise.
All right, so it's Christmas time, and it's today for us in the real tree world. Today is tree going up today for me. So
I'm in the middle of a lot of them going up, Rick.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them.
So yesterday,
Welcome to the party,
because
Rick.
the tree arrives today. So yesterday, and I know it's been a running joke with husbands and wives for a long, long time. Okay, and that is, it does not matter when something happened. They remember it forever. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now they don't seem to grasp the wonderful things that we've done.
No, those get forgotten.
Right? What is that? But if you've had some kind of fumble, boy, they remember when it happened. So I want you.
Remember what happened that last time?
It was good night. It's got to be now a decade or more. Okay, I think it's more than that. I think it's more like 15 years. Okay. The process of going to the attic, we all talk about it. Greg's fallen through his ceiling a couple times. You go in there
10 years between them.
You go in there and get. You've failed twice. You go in there to get the stuff. Here come the boxes, all the different boxes.
Yeah.
And I notice over time you can always tell that sometimes you'll label a box. For instance, this happened yesterday. The box was clearly labeled colored lights. No offense. Okay.
Yeah. You have to look at
So
that.
we have white lights, we have colored lights.
You know they have pre-lit trees now that you can alternate. It'll do it itself.
Oh, really?
You want colored, you hit that.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course it'll work one
Yeah,
Christmas.
you'll get one good Christmas.
And
maybe
then there'll
two.
be a short.
Yeah.
So I pick up the big box. It clearly says colored lights on it, and I go sit it downstairs where the colored light tree is going to be. Well, then we start, where are the white lights? Well, come to find out they were in that box. And there was another box that had
Oh, mislabeled.
Mislabeled the sharp. But anyway, so and I know it's coming every year for now at least 15 Christmases. I know it's coming. I'm just waiting on it. It was not a good thing, and what I did was not right. It was the angel catastrophe. I got a big old box full of ornaments for there's in our house there's the tree that has all the kids.
Yeah.
Decorations they made as kids,
Sure.
little pictures of
That
everybody.
milk is a reindeer.
Specialized whatever, and it's got little colored lights on it.
Okay.
Then there's the tree in that room of your house you never go in, and it has to be more elegant and fancy apparently. Yeah. And there were some angel ornaments, very nice ones. I will acknowledge that. Yeah. Well, I had a big cardboard box with all that in it. It was big, and I took it down the steps, and instead of sitting it, all the way down, I got about 6 inches off the floor and let it go, boom, and it hit.
Break.
And she said, I bet you broke some ornaments. I said, I didn't break any ornaments. Overreaction. You think I broke ornaments? Why did you drop it like that? It's
almost on the ground.
Did you spike it like a football?
And all of a sudden, she starts opening up that box.
And there you
go. Pieces.
Most of their body was intact. But those wings, those beautiful angel wings. Chipped.
Pal
Some one wing off, one wing on.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. So you were convinced it was fine.
Oh, it made a big stand about it. And
here comes Gorilla Glue.
15 years, and it happened again yesterday.
You did it again?
No.
Oh.
You know what happens.
It comes back
Okay,
every time it's here.
we need to go. We need to go up in the attic and get all the stuff. Yes. Okay. And I just want to go 3, 2. Hey, when you take a box out of here, set it all the way down on the ground. You remember what happened with those angels?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I do. Matter of fact, if I tried not to remember it,
in 2010, you remember that?
Thank you for being here to remind me of it.
Where's Greg when you need him? You could have blamed him on breaking something like you did your entire childhood.
Yeah. Hey, babe, Jesus has forgot about this, and hopefully one day you will. It's so I now I get watched with every box. They just ease that down on the ground. Well, you're just too rough with stuff. I mean, dropping boxes. Babe, that's 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember it, so I won't do it again.
Then I always loved this one. And those angels were nice, too. Do you remember those angels?
Probably the best ones you've ever had.
I do remember that. Baby, one of them survived. Yeah, we used to have like 5 of them. Now we got like, 2? I said, yeah. You remember what happened to the other 3? I certainly do.
Could have more.
Yeah. I dropped a box and broke their wings. I did. They're not real angels, by the way. They're just figurines. Yeah. I didn't do anything to real angels.
You didn't break their wings.
And but it happened.
Yeah.
So here and to me that lonely climb to that attic and walking that stuff out. Yeah. And setting it all over the house. It should be joyful. It really should. And the little legs get to aching, up them steps, back down again. Sure. And then, of course, the attic, you put it in there because you're so done with it when it's over every year, and you think, this year we're going to put it in here really neat, easy to get. Mm-hmm. And then you find yourself just wanting it all to be over.
Oh, really?
And now you're paying the price because you now can't come out there organized.
No.
So,
it's similar to that. This happened 2 days ago. Lisa has these things, they call them milk glass. She collects, they're like little vases, and they're white. Basically, they're white.
Okay.
And she got a bunch of them.
Okay.
And she had them in a cabinet up at the top.
Oh, boy.
So the other day, I was trying to get a plate down for the turkey, and I almost caused a problem, but I didn't. It was close. She called, hey, man, watch out. You know how they do. So I survived. There's milk glass. And so that passes. Well, about 2 nights ago, I'm going to open the cabinet. I just open it, and here comes, and it crashes down.
Oh, no.
And I had nothing to do with it.
All you did is open it.
And she finally comes in there. I said, I got bad news about something.